Hey vloggers, it's Alex. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be about music, fair use, and copyright infringement. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I really wanted to do my research for you guys just because there's so much information out there. You don't know who to trust, and it's really hard when it comes to putting music in your videos. So I'm going to go over what fair use is. I'm going to go over some tips on how to try to avoid copyright infringement, and then I'm going to get into, what are your options from the least risky to, the most risky. And then I'll go into my experience of, dealing with the whole, deciding on what music to use, music I have used and whatnot. And then also just go through some YouTubers that I think you guys should check out and some specific videos that I will be listening down in the description box, along with any articles that I find or mention. So one quick thing, I just want to say welcome to any new viewers of my channel. If you want to subscribe to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. I also have a beauty channel called Beauty Addict Next Door, and then a lifestyle channel called the Beauty Addict Diaries. Okay, so let's jump on into it. The first thing I want to go over is what is fair use. So I'm going to be using the definition that I found on the Merriam-Webster dictionary online. And it says, fair use is a legal doctrine that portions of copyrighted material, so portions, may be used without permission of the copyright owner provided the use is fair and reasonable, does not substantially impair the value of the materials, and does not curtail the profits reasonably expected by the owner. So that is the definition of what fair use is. In case you guys didn't know that, obviously everyone can Google, but I figured we'd start off with the basics of what the heck that is. Now, in doing my research, I found that there were 4 considerations that you guys need to consider whenever you are deciding whether or not using that particular piece of music will be considered fair use or not. The problem with those 4 considerations is that they are so freaking broad. So, I'm not even going to listen to you because it really doesn't make any sense. It's not clear. They could argue against you using that music even if you couldn't totally argue that you could have used that music. It's ridiculous. So I will link an article down below for you that shows you what those considerations are, as well as the video where a YouTuber went over those considerations. Now, there was one YouTube video that I checked out when doing my research by video creators. They did a video on how to avoid violating fair use and copyright infringement. So they gave some tips for you guys to follow to help you avoid it. Not saying that, that's written in stone. If you do this, you won't get in trouble. You could still get in trouble, but these are 3 ways that you can try to avoid getting in trouble. Now, I will link that video down below for you guys, but I'm just going to quickly go over those tips with you. So the first tip was to use mostly original content. So you want the majority of your video to be your own content, and you want a very small portion to be, the content of someone else. So if you're going to include music on your channel, don't have it run through the entire video. Make sure that you are talking in that video, and I think the worst ones that are really going to get you in trouble is if it's just the song and you're putting the lyrics up. But if it's just for the intro of your video, that's definitely considered a small portion of your video of it being, something that was copyrighted. And then the thing is to cite multiple sources. So in this video, I'm going to be citing multiple sources. I'm citing the Merriam-Webster dictionary. I'm citing video creators' video, as well as some other videos that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. Because you want to make sure that you give credit. And by giving credit to multiple people, it's less like you're copying someone else. So I'm providing to you a bunch of different information that I've found, what I've experienced during my career, and, providing that to you. Rather than literally someone, if someone completely copied someone, it would be like me just redoing one of these guys' videos saying the exact same thing verbatim, but I'm not doing that. I'm going over with you different aspects of music, fair use, and copyright infringement, pulling a bunch of different sources that I found helpful, linking them down below for you guys. So that was a third thing, is you need to give proper credit. So that was the third tip. So make sure that you link everything down in the description box. That's super important. The YouTube channel, the link to the YouTube channel, some people, what you can do is you can insert credits at the end of the video, or during the video, you can do a little scrolling text that says, this is, you know, not my content, this is video creators' content. Make sure you go check out their channel. The link is down below. Alright, so let's go over what your options are from least risky to most risky. So the least risky thing that you guys can do is one of three things. You can pull music from iMovie, music from Final Cut Pro, pretty much whatever program that you are using. And then also, third option would be to use the YouTube's audio library, where they have a bunch of free music that you guys can use to insert into your videos. Then the next option would be to use bensound.com, which is just a royalty-free music website where you can pull music and include it in your videos. I don't know if there's any other websites like that. If you guys know of any, let me know down in the comments, but that's the one that I've always heard of and have used. Now the next option, which is still a little bit risky but not too much, is to go onto YouTube channels that are specifically meant to avoid copyright infringement. And what I mean by that is YouTube channels called No Copyright Sounds, Free Songs to Use, and Sing King Karaoke. Those are channels that are dedicated to, particularly the first two that I mentioned, No Copyright Sounds and Free Songs to Use. Their channels are dedicated to providing music to people to be able to use that music in their videos. So, you know, I would still give credit, you know, link the video and the channel down below with the title in it. Always give credit, but you can use those songs. And then with Sing King Karaoke, that is who I use for pretty much every single one of my videos. What you can do is you can use their songs, but you have to make sure you use credit. The other ones, I don't know if they state that you have to use credit, give credit in your video, but Sing King Karaoke you definitely do. So I put the title of I put the YouTube channel name, the link to the video, and Sing King Karaoke's channel, as well as the title of the video down in my description box. Now, with Sing King Karaoke, I still did run into some issues. The biggest one was I used their Nightmare Before Christmas karaoke song, and I was able to YouTube convert it. And I'll do a separate video where I can show you guys how to YouTube convert YouTube videos into like music songs that you can insert into your videos. But anyway, I YouTube converted one of the songs called Nightmare Before Christmas from Nightmare Before Christmas, and it worked. It let me YouTube convert it. But then whenever I uploaded the video and monetized it, YouTube said, no, you can't do that. You know, it's copyright infringement. So I didn't get a strike or anything, but it just wouldn't let me monetize. And I think it's monetized, but the copyright owner is making the money off of it. Other issues that I ran into is when I would go to YouTube convert a video and it just wouldn't let me do it. So I think Selena Gomez, Keep My Hands to Myself, it wouldn't let me YouTube convert it because it said due to copyright issues. So there may be some videos that Sing King Karaoke can put on their channel, but you can't use it in your video. So just keep that in mind as that happens. You know, just don't use it. If you get flagged for it, you know, hopefully you don't get a strike, but it's still, I haven't gotten a strike using Sing King Karaoke stuff. For the most part, it's run smoothly. So just keep that in mind. Now the next thing you guys can do is go under music policies on YouTube and then use music from that library. So there's two libraries. There's the audio library, which is free music, and then there are music policies. That tab will include a list of music that you can use in your videos. You can search for them and it will let you know if you can monetize it, or if it's going to be viewable in all countries, which I'm pretty sure every single one you cannot monetize for yourself. And then also you know, the ones that I found, there were some that were, you know, viewable across the whole world, and then there was one that I found that was like viewable but across the world except for Germany. So keep that in mind. You probably want to pick a song that, you know, everyone can see your video. You don't want that to like eliminate some of your viewers, which would really suck. But, you know, obviously there's certain times where it's just really fitting to use a particular song. But yeah, just keep that in mind. So that's like the next risky thing, because, and the reason why I say it's risky, even though it's an option that YouTube provides to you, is the fact that it states right below the you can't monetize part that they can still, you know, copyright owner can change their mind at any moment, and they can still like come back and take your video down or whatever. But I kind of feel like that's not as likely, because it looks like there has to be some sort of agreement involved with that music policies list of songs. So, but it's kind of like a way for YouTube to just like cover their bases and just be like, oh, well, if they come back to bite, it's not our fault because we did put this disclaimer in there. So It's a little bit riskier, but I definitely think it's worth it. When it comes to, you know, there's certain videos for like creative expression purposes, I would just, you know, use the song and not monetize it. Like, I'm totally fine not making money on a video if it's, you know, for me, to allow me to be creative. Because there's certain videos that I want to be like, for instance, I did the Walking Dead Beth makeup tutorial. So I did a zombie version of Beth from The Walking Dead, and I used the Walking Dead theme song at the beginning of my video. So I didn't monetize it, and it was so important to me that I got that video up and did it the way that I imagined it, because that's, you know, I want to be creative. I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to, you know, not be allowed to express that creativity. And plus, you guys, you don't really make that much on monetization. You really have to be a really big YouTuber to make a lot on monetization. So, yeah, like, it's so not even worth it to, A, risk getting in trouble. So if you just decided to upload a video with another person's song and try to monetize it, it's so not worth the risk of you getting caught. And then it's also not worth the risk to stop yourself from being able to express your creativity. So you just gotta like weigh things out. Now, the most risky thing that you can do, which I've kind of already mentioned, is if you just, you know, do a video, you insert, you know, the Walking Dead theme song, you monetize it, and you're like, I'm good, I don't care, I'm gonna monetize it, it's to catch me. So you're just kind of like uploading the music anyway, monetizing it, and praying that you don't get caught. So, you know, don't do that. It's not worth the risk. It's not worth getting a strike. It's not worth getting in trouble with YouTube, getting your account terminated. That music's not worth it. You know, it's really not. So, you know, it's like, you know, I can understand taking a little bit risk. Like for me, I don't monetize the video if I'm, you know, just trying to express my creativity. I'm not monetizing. I'm not making money off of it. So why can't, you know? But if you're trying to make money off of something that's not yours, that's where it's really icky. You're really skating on thin ice there. Now we're going to go into my experience. So pretty much when I first started off with YouTube, I used some music from iMovie. And then I am pretty sure I started getting into like no copyright sounds, free songs to use and sing king karaoke. And then I kept doing research, and then I found, you know, certain websites that would say if you just use 15 seconds or 30 seconds of the song, it's fine, or you just have to make sure that you give credit. So I started doing it where I would use like 15 seconds of the song, and then I would put like at the end, like, you know, when you do an English class or something, at the end of the paper, you have like these little credit, like ways to credit an author or something. I put that at the end of the video to credit whoever created the music and the label and all that stuff, all that information at the end of the video, as well as including it in my description box. But as I did more research, I realized that there's no 15-second rule or 30-second rule, 5-second rule that exists. It's just a rumor that's been going around. If you use 5 seconds of the song, you could get flagged, you could get a copyright strike. Like, it's just a rumor that's going around, so don't do that. And then I was also starting to feel like I'm okay. Even though I'm giving credit in both the description box and in the video, I still don't feel comfortable. I feel like I could still get in trouble and I won't be able to argue my way out of it at all. So I stopped doing that. And then I went back to just using Sing King Karaoke and occasionally free songs to use or no copyright sounds. So that is what I've been doing, along with this. There's a particular video that I want to use a particular song because it'll be really a great way to express my creativity. It would just be the most fitting song for whatever I was trying to do. Then I just won't monetize the video. So that's where I'm at now. So I have a bunch of Halloween tutorials that I'm thinking of already for my Beauty Addict Next Door channel. And, you know, I'm like, this song would be perfect for this. So I'm just not going to monetize that video because I want to be able to use that song. So that is where I'm at right now. Just mostly Sing King Karaoke and then the occasional video that I just don't monetize. Now, there are 3 YouTube channels that I will be linking down below for you guys. They had really helpful videos on their channels. I already mentioned the one from Video Creators. It was 3 rules to avoid violating fair use on YouTube. That video came out in 2014. Then there was another video from Computing Forever, and it was how to avoid getting copyright strikes. And that is where I learned about the whole music policy section on YouTube. So if you go to your video manager, you hit create, and then you hit on music policies, that is where you can get to the music library of songs that you can use but you cannot monetize. Then the last video and YouTube channel that I'm going to link down below is actually really funny. It's from Joseph Buckley, and his video was on YouTube's copyright and fair use policy, which came out in February of 2016, so it's pretty recent, and it's just really funny. It's very sarcastic but informative at the same time. Pretty much it's just telling you all about how fair use and copyright infringement and everything works on YouTube, and pretty much how it's bullshit. So it's like a cartoon, and it's really funny but very informative. So I will link that all down below for you guys, and it really does point out the risks that you're taking whenever you're using music. So really be cautious of that. Alright, so that's it for this video. If you guys have any tips, experiences that you want to share below that you think would be helpful, please do so, because there is a lot of information out there. If you guys know of any good YouTube videos to check out, also link those down below. I would love it, just because the more you know, the better. Now, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button below. Like this video if you've liked it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!